Hey everyone, I haven't posted in a while, and my elo has been suffering, so I haven't felt the desire to be really motivated during these downtimes, but I feel like I'm back on the come up and more inclined to start posting again and just talk about things that interest me, like the Iran war, I should say. What should I play? Let's play a English opening, which I never play. E4 seems logical. I want to play a c4, g3, bishop g2 setup. Um, lots been happening in the world since I last posted. Like a seemingly out of the blue war with Iran. And I'm like, no person in America supports this war because they don't even have any justification for why people would want to. The U.S. military should be fighting when there's enough domestic problems. So my mind's just blown. Maybe I can go here after. D3 or E3? E3 I think makes sense here. Just in case of E4. So, the American government was saying, it's nukes! Which, is a way, like Noam Chomsky would say, to manufacture consent, to shift public perception and opinions into deceiving people, into agreeing to do what you want, bending their will. Like Inception, the movie Inception. In order to plant ideas, to subtly shift perspective in favor of an idea. But like in the war in Iraq, where hundreds of people, every news outlet was saying weapons of mass destruction, and none were ever found. That's clearly not the case here either. But appealing to people's fears, the most effective strategy. Fear is a powerful emotional force. But no one should fall for it. If you look into the facts, Iran never had any nuclear weapons. They were not anywhere close to actually presenting such a threat. So you can rule out that reason. Like the International Atomic Energy Agency had investigators checking out their facilities, not finding any evidence of any such attempts, and their supreme leader, who was killed, declared a fatwa on nuclear weapons, meaning it's against religious doctrine for the country to develop them. It's actually against the law, religious law. I think because he was fearful that if he ever did have them, it would provoke an attack. And Iran didn't want to go to war. They've never started a war. The only country in the region that has been warmongering has been Israel. And yeah. So what else did they say? Israel has started wars with 7 of its neighbors in the last 2 years, which is pretty brutal and violent. I feel like I have better central control, and my king's slightly more secure here, so I'm pretty happy with this position. Yeah, let's open up the C file, see which way black wants to recapture. This was my idea, just to put more pressure on this pawn. Maybe reroute the knight to f4. Yeah, on the first day Trump was, the most aggressive with his rhetoric about saying they have nukes. Which, yeah, is complete falsehood. So then, what other possible reasons? Because it's not just that American soldiers are going to go in and lose their lives over nothing. It's that Iranians are also suffering too. And I believe that all people deserve the right to live, unless they've committed some kind of atrocity. Now, do I want to go this way or this way? Because here hits the bishop. I want to go here because it's more towards the center, but then his bishop could take, so let's go counterintuitive. Let's throw a wrench into his plans. This also comes with a fork. Okay, that's logical. What happens if I go here now? If he recaptures with the bishop, that doesn't quite work. Maybe I should have gone here. Here, knight takes, bishop takes. Doesn't quite work. What about f3? Okay, let's move the king over, just so this pawn isn't pinned. Then I might play f3, just to undermine black's center. So interesting. This pawn is pinned to that rook at least. pretty complicated situation. I thought it was pinned. Let's see, here... So then, either the knight or the bishop. Let's say the knight. And I go bishop here. It's so close to working, but it just doesn't quite work. But I actually think this is also a very powerful move. Because there's only two defenders, three attackers. The rooks are now staring at each other. It's a tense position. I think my pieces are better placed, so even though we're down a pawn, there's a lot of potential here. But yeah, so one thing about Pete Hegseth is there's like a disturbing video of him in 2009 or 2019 where he's talking about some kind of, wait, 1, 2, 3, I forgot the queen was defending, so if I take with the knight, bishop recaptures. Then my bishop takes, his knight takes, my queen takes, his queen takes, so that doesn't quite work. So if I go here, yeah, his bishop, so he has to take with the bishop actually, then the knight takes. What about going here? Here, knight takes, bishop takes, rook takes. Then my rook's here. This is under pressure. I can go here. I guess I better just play that. Yeah, so Pete Hegseth was a Fox News anchor, and now he's running the Department of Defense, or they changed the name to Department of War. That doesn't seem like a highly qualified man. Neither does Kash Patel. And what did he say about the Epstein files? There's no evidence anyone was trafficked. That seems like a blatant lie under oath. So these people are willing to go to any lengths to lie, which is, you lose credibility to the whole world. Everyone's watching and seeing these things. What about here? Here, 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 here. That looks winning. So is there any refutation? Here, here, here. I think it just wins. I'm not sure. Hopefully this guy doesn't find some kind of answer. Oh, this square is covered. Brutal. I completely missed that. But what about... I really messed this up. Here, here. There's no good options, really. If you're not getting worse, you're getting better. Or if you're not getting better, you're getting worse. It's the law of entropy in the universe. I really want to go here, here. Wait, that doesn't even work. But I think I got into too much time trouble. I also need to get a new microphone, so perhaps next paycheck I'm aware the audio quality could use some work. Wow. Just very painful stuff at the moment. Two misses. I felt like I had a great position. I really enjoyed my position in the middle game. At 1 point, +4. So I'm pretty... So yeah, my instinct was to go d4, but f4 was actually the best move in the position. Wow. How is this... Why can't he just go here? That would have been really nice. Anyways, my thoughts aren't going anywhere on this war, and I will continue to elaborate further, and try to put my own take on it, but backed with like 100% verifiable facts. Anyways,